Hello, Computer Studies 10. We are starting a new game project. This is going to be like a real kind of game as opposed to our previous projects, which were an animation and sort of a choose your own adventure or escape room style game. Now we're going to do a game that's more sort of their standard sort of, I play this video game on cool math games, that kind of stuff. I'm going to call it the tank game, but it doesn't have to be tanks or anything like that. You could be whatever things you want to be combating with each other. I'll show you what it looks like. We're gonna have a little map select kind of situation going on, and then we got a little battle arena. Oh, that's the project name. We got it, folks. The battle arena project. That's what we'll name it. But there's basically going to be a two-player game, so you could beat up your friends. Always fun to test your game by fighting with your friends, and you can kind of see the elements of this going on right here in front of you. In terms of interesting coding, we're going to be learning about variables. Some of you have already used them, but for the most part, it hasn't been essential for any project yet. A variable is just a way to store information that your program can use over and over again. See up here, we got these threes and these orange boxes. Those are variables that represent how many lives each player has. The green tank versus the red tank, right? They have 3 lives each, and if they get damaged, then they lose a life. That's going to be an interesting and really valuable piece of our coding toolbox that we'll have moving forward. Also, we're going to be kind of furthering that idea of making decisions. So in our previous project, it was all about making decisions, making branching points, and we're going to do that again. As you saw, we have like a branching point here. Choose a map. Choose which map you want. Ooh, that's a boring map. But we have that still here. We even have the we have the idea of like, oh, the button is choosing whether or not to be large or small based on the mouse. So now we're going to have a tank deciding how to move based on our key presses, and we're also going to be having a tank decide if it's been hit or not by a bullet. So these are sort of more interactive stuff with keyboard, and also interactive between sprites themselves. How do they make decisions? How do they know to run into the wall? Like I'm using the green tank here, and it's like, hey, there's a wall. I'm hitting it. Ouch. Well, it doesn't say ouch, but it can't go through the walls, basically. Another component of what we're going to learn in this project is going to be cloning, which is sort of an essential component in modern programming languages. Object-oriented programming is one way to describe it. In Scratch is called cloning. And basically, we can make copies of a sprite, so we don't have to make like a whole bunch of sprites. Like, for example, this red tank over here, it shoots a bunch of bullets. You can see it eats through the ground, which is a fun thing we'll talk about later. Hey, look at that. Wow. So many bullets. But there's only one bullet sprite. And I can just keep firing bullets and more bullets. But I'm not reusing the same bullet sprite. I am making copies, clones of the original bullet sprite. And they're programmed to do certain things when they begin as a clone. So those are the new sort of features we're going to be using, just to kind of throw you into the code, just to take a look and see. If I was to show you variables, this is our sort of variables. Let's move away from the code just so it's not distracting. I don't know how to zoom in. There we go. We're going to be looking at the variables tab. So variables, we're going to be looking at under control. We're going to be looking at the clone stuff here. And we're going to be looking at a lot of the sensing stuff as well for detecting, are we touching another sprite, or are we colliding with a wall, or that kind of stuff. So lots and lots of fun things to look at. So this is the new project, and I should just blow up a tank just to confirm. You can see, like, oh, look at that, I've lost a life. Green tank's looking like it's hurting. I can shoot, there's lost another life, and sure enough, it is defeated. And then we start the game again. This is the basic part of the project, and you're going to get a chance to add on your own cool features, new guns, new power-ups, new maps, like all sorts of different things, whatever extra features you can think of, really. But I'll have some suggestions for you. Okay, so let's get started in the next video. We'll take a look at making the whatever your characters are, tanks or, swordsmen or whatever. I don't know what you're going to make for yours. Let's see how they can move around by pressing the keys. Okay, thanks, everybody.